In this video, let us learn about the recursion. So the recursion is a concept which is related to the user defined functions. That means without knowing the user defined functions, without understanding the user defined function, it's not possible to understand the recursion. So the prerequisite means before going to the recursion, you must go through the user defined functions video. So what is the recursion? The definition is here. The process of calling a function within the same function is called as a recursion. So the example is over here. Here generally main function will call every other user defined function. Here f1 is a user defined function. This main function is calling f1, and the control will go to the f1 function, and after going to the f1 function we will enter inside the f1 function. Again there you can see one more function call which is calling itself. So within the f1 I have written the f1 itself. Who is calling this f1 function here? Main function. But who is calling this f1 function here? F1 function itself is calling the f1 function. So this process where a function calls itself is called as a recursion. Okay, so what will happen? So after main calls the f1 function and the control goes to the f1 function, this will again be called by itself and the control will again go to the beginning of the function. Again you will enter inside for the second time, again the f1 will be called, and again for the third time also we are going to the beginning of the function and entering. Okay, this will happen for a number of times. Let us say this will happen for infinite number of times. So what is meant by recursion? A function is called recursively, means again and again. A function is called again and again for a number of times based on a condition. Based on a condition. So whenever you go to the example program, you can know how to mention the condition and everything. But based on a condition, a function is executed again and again for a number of times. That kind of function we are calling it as a recursive function. Here f1 is called as a recursive function because it is involving in the recursion. Recursion means the process of calling the function again and again, and also the calling function. What is the calling function here? F1. And what is the called function here? See here, what is the calling function here? F1. What is the called function here? F1. So whenever the calling function and the called function both are same, then I can call that process as a recursion. As you can observe, f1 is calling itself, so f1 is a recursive function, and the process is called as what? Recursion process. What is the important point in recursion? If you don't give any condition, for example, as you can see in this f1 example, there is no condition is mentioned. So f1 is calling f1, f1 is calling f1, so it will go continuously, infinite number of times, and the situation will become unbreakable. Okay, if you go like this without any condition, for example if you execute this loop, this function, what will happen? This will go on executing for a number of times, infinite number of times. Okay, it will go on executing. For example, in the above, f1 calls f1 again and again. Okay, let us take an example to show recursion program on finding the factorial of a number. This is a very important program for the degree students also, and for everyone. And here the user defined function which I have defined is fact function. What is the name of the function? It is a fact function. Here I am going to find the factorial of a number, that is 4. So the factorial of 4 is simply, I will explain what you mean by factorial. For example, if you go for the fact of any number, that is the factorial function. Here we are writing, finding the factorial of 4. This is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. What is the total result? The total result is going to be something like 24. So fact of 4 is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now what I am going to do is, I want to group these three numbers in a bracket. Now 4 into, can I call this 3 into 2 into 1 as a 3 factorial? That is nothing but the fact of 3. Is it or not? Yes. Similarly, if I write the same thing, in a different way, right? Look at here, I'm writing here like this. I can also write like 4 into 3 into, within the bracket I can write it as 2 into 1. Okay, so what is the meaning of it? Again 4 into this fact of 3, this fact of 3 is again represented as 3 into fact of 2. 3 into fact of 2. Is it or not? So, as you can see here, fact of 4 is represented as 4 into fact of 3. Again, this fact of 3 is represented as 3 into fact of 2. That means, in general, fact of n can be represented as what? The fact of n can be represented as what? The fact of n can be represented as n into, okay, or n star fact of n minus 1, n star fact of n minus 1. So this is going to be the general formula which we are going to use in the logic of the factorial. This is going to be the general formula which we are going to use in the logic of the factorial function. Okay, and this situation will continue. Now this one I am writing it as 4 into 3 into, and fact of 2 can be written as, this fact of 2 can be written as 2 into fact of 1. This process will go on. Why? Because this is a recursion process. Here the recursive function is nothing but the factorial function, which is called again and again. See how many times the recursion function is called as, this fact function is called. This is for the first time it is called, and here it is called for the second time, and here it is called for the third time, here it is called for the fourth time. Now let us see, for one more number of time it is going to be called. That is nothing but 4 into 3 into 2 will remain the same. The result, again fact of 1 can be written as 1 into fact of n minus 1, that is a 0. 1 into fact of, I am writing it as 0. So further, this is the last time the fact function is going to be called, for the fifth time, and the process is going to end here, because the fact of 0 can never be, again it will not go into the negative values. And we will mention a condition whenever n becomes 0. This is nothing but n, right? Now the n has become the 0, or so whenever I call this function fact of 0, immediately you can see this see the statement here. Whenever n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1, that is fact of 0, it is going to return what? It is going to return the 1, right? So by that statement, now this is going to change to 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into fact of 0, it is going to return also 1. So the total result is equal to 24. Now there is no factorial function going to be called again. So the overall recursion process is completed. The recursion process is completed as soon as you get this result. So this recursion process is continued for how many times? This is continued for 5 times. This is continued for how many times? 5 times. For example, if I don't write this condition, here, this is the condition, this recursion will go on continue. So fact will call the fact function, and the process will go on for a number of times. So here the factorial, again the fact will be called, again enter inside, again the fact will be called for one more time, like this will go on continued. So you must mention some condition so that it will cannot become an infinite loop. As we have already said over here, here we need to give some condition. The important point in recursion is, if you don't give any condition, this is the recursion becomes unbreakable and infinitely executed. So here the f1 is an infinite loop. The f1 will go infinitely. So you must mention some condition. So let us trace this program. So we have defined one user defined function, and the name of the user defined function is the fact function. So fact function, this is called as the function declaration, this is called as function declaration. You must declare the function before you call that function. And the second part of the user defined function, we can call it as a function call. So you must call the function, otherwise the function can never be executed. So int f, I'm tracing this program. A variable f is created and 2 bytes of memory is allocated, and it is an integer variable. And int fact of 4, automatically the factorial function is called, and the actual actual parameter, that is 4, will be copied to the formal parameter n. So into n, what is copied? 4 is copied. Now you check this condition, n double equal to 0 or n double equal to 1. So here 4 is not equal to 1 or 4 is not equal to 0. Now n is 4, right? So 4 double equal to 0. Every time this condition is checked, but this condition will be true only at the exit time. So 4 double equal to 0 and 4 double equal to 1, the condition is false. So what will be the next function call? N into fact of n minus 1, that is nothing but 4 into fact of 4 minus 1, that is nothing but fact of 3. Okay, the fact of 3 function is called. Whenever you call fact of 3 function, what will happen? Automatically the same function is called. So when this is called as a recursion, right? Fact of 3. Now the new parameter which is copied to n is nothing but 3, right? So the value of n changes to 3. The value of n is going to change to 3 here. Now again check the condition. 3 double equal to 0, condition is false, and 3 double equal to 1, the condition is false. Then what will be returned automatically? That is nothing but n into fact of n minus 1. N value is 3, so 3 into fact of n minus 1, that is nothing but 2, that is 3 minus 1 is 2. Now from this, again this fact of 2 function is called, and the new value of n is going to change to what? The new value of n is going to change to 2. The new value of n is going to be 2. Again check the condition. 2 double equal to 0, condition is false. 2 double equal to 1, the condition is false. Okay, you can see the program. And whenever the condition is false, what will be returned? N into fact of n minus 1. N is nothing but 2. So I'm going to call like this: 2 into fact of, see here 4 is also there. You remember, that is 4 is also there. That is 4 into this fact of 3 can be expanded as 3 into fact of 2. Again it will continue here. That is nothing but 4 into 3 will be written like that only, but this fact of 2 can be written as 2 into fact of 2 minus 1, that is nothing but 2 into fact of 1. Again the fact function is called, and the new value of the actual parameter that to be copied is 1, right? So again this 1 will be checked against the condition. This 1 will be checked against the condition. What is the condition in the beginning of the loop, in the beginning of the factorial function? This is the condition, right? N double equal to 0 or n double equal to 1, that is nothing but 1 double equal to 0 or 1 double equal to 1. This time the condition is true. Why? Because 1 double equal to 1 is true, so the condition is true. Whenever the condition is true, it is going to return what? 1. So 1 will be substituted in the place of the function call, that is fact of 1. So the total result is going to be 4 into 3 into 2 into fact of 1 is 1, because 1 is returned. The total calculation is completed and the overall answer is 24. And this value is returned. Return statement, you have to know what is a return statement. Return means the value is returned. What is the value that is going to be returned? 24. To whom it is going to return? It will be returned to the function call, means at this place the 24 will be substituted and it will be stored into f. This is the f where we are going to store the result. That is the factorial value. So you are going to print the factorial value at the end, this printf by this printf statement. So the output is going to be what? Simply the output is going to be like this. That is nothing but factorial is equal to 24. What is the name of the variable that we use here? F, right? So factorial is equal to 24 will be the output. So this is the tracing of the program, line by line execution. Let us go for the practical. Okay, and run this practical. The same thing I have written here. So the factorial is nothing but 24. Okay, so let us check this with some other value, that is nothing but 5. It will be into 5, means 24 into 5, that is 120, right? See here, 120. You can find the factorial of any number by using this program. Okay, if you want, you can also use the printf function. So how to use the printf function? Simply here you ask the user for entering the number, that is nothing but enter a number to find the factorial. Backslash n, the cursor will move to the next line, and in the you have to store that number or read that number. You have to use the scanf function for that. So you are going to store an integer value, so %d, and then you have to write the ampersand is compulsory in scanf because it is going to read into that address. So where you are going to read the value, let us say it is going to be taken into some variable like some t. Okay, let us take into t. So I have to declare t also over here. So fact of, instead of 5 you can take it as t. So let us run this code. There is some error here, semicolon is missing in the scan after the scanf, so put the semicolon and run it. So enter a number to find the factorial. I am entering 4 again and enter button. Factorial is equal to 24. You can find the factorial of any number. So 5, enter button, 120. So this is the overall explanation about a factorial.